Hello, my name is Emmanuel Martins. I'm a creative director. I'm a photographer, and I'm also a model. Whew. I'll title this podcast Unscripted because it's not scripted. I don't have a certain script for this, and I'm just talking my mind. I'm just saying my mind, basically. In the period of about 10 years now or more, I would say I found myself in a space and a place where I'm able to express myself freely, and it all started from somewhere. I love what I do, and I'll tell you a story. So once there was this boy that just wanted to live life and be creative. In general, at first I wanted to be a doctor. You all know that methodology of how like they'll be like, oh, what do you want to become in future? You'll be like, I want to become a doctor simply because your friend said so. Or you want to become an engineer simply because your friend said so. I mean, there was no perspective to it. And there's a point in my life that I came into, and it was more of, what do you want to be remembered for when you leave the earth? And I'm like, oh wow, that's actually really big. And it was more of a question of purpose. And I started reading, I started coming through certain materials by Dr. Miles Moron, God bless his memory. Started reading books like Awakening Giants in You. I started listening to podcasts. I started going through a lot of documents that was helping me trying to find who I am. And I know you're there. You probably have this question in your mind. Oh, what am I called for in this life? What do I want to become? And there's just that season or that question of purpose. And that was it for me. And to be sincere, I was stuck in that moment, and I really wanted to know. I really wanted to discover that part of me. And thus, reading those books, getting through those materials, friends, families, and a day came, I slept, and I found myself in a dream, because the book there also mentioned God's word. It also mentioned that you can actually find it there in God's word, yeah? And it mentioned that you can actually find that purpose. You can just sleep and then you have a dream. God will inspire you and you'll be able to find it. And in this dream, I found myself in a world. It was very glorious. So the only thing I can relate to it in real life, because I've not still found the right terms, it was more like a desert. So because the desert was something that was able to depict what I saw. It was golden sand. That was what it was more like. And in that moment, everywhere was all shining and all glorious. But whatever thing I had in my mind, whatever thing I spoke became. Like if I say, oh, you become a house, like the sand just turns into a house. And it was strictly on imagination, and I'm like, this must be it. And I'm like, there was light, there was that creative nature, and it was just there. It was free flow. And I kept sourcing for it. What's that thing in my life that elementarily depicts this? And to be sincere, it actually struck a chord in me that till today I can't go back to being the way I was. But it actually got me more curious, because I was like, so what's the meaning of this dream? Like, I asked to be able to know an exact purpose. And to be sincere, I'm still in the journey of actually discovering it. It's actually beyond the light I saw, and I look forward to actually becoming even more of what I even saw there. And that brings or boils down to why I actually love the creative space, because it's a space that allows you to create as much as you can. As long as you can imagine it, it can actually become. As long as you can imagine it, you can actually bring it to life. And so I can remember how that I can trace some of my photography journey to my younger self. How that my aunt had a wedding and my dad had a camera, and I was giving the camera to play around with. And then while everybody was having food, drinking, dancing, I was photographing, snapping pictures. I did not have any idea of what was composition, what was ISO, how to frame rightly. I didn't have any idea of exposure, nothing. I was just snapping. It was an auto. And after the wedding, I saw how everybody came back together in the family. I was like, wait, what were you even snapping? It was a lot of pictures, I won't lie. And they're like, let me see. As they were watching the pictures from the camera, I saw everybody's face lit up. They were so happy. I can remember how my aunt was so happy, and she was like, this is so beautiful. And her husband was more like, you should study photography. And this was a stage where I was trying to transition into tertiary institution. Like, where will I even get place to study photography in Nigeria as of that time? And it was just so crazy to imagine telling your parents, oh, I want to study photography. Why? Because I want to become a photographer. Did not make sense. Now photographers, they are balling millions, billions, like they make a lot of money from creative space entirely. And that was it. That was a pause for it. Still, the period I was done with school, my secondary school, and I was about to get into tertiary institution, and I applied severally into the school of my choice and for engineering, but I couldn't get engineering 3 good times, and I was left with a choice. And I can remember how my dad looked at me in the eye and he asked me, oh, so what do you want to do now? And he was like, whatever you want to do, I will support you, and I believe in you. As long as you believe in yourself, you'll be able to achieve and do great things. And I had a choice of physics, computer science, and mathematics. At that time, that was my lowest JAM score ever. And I was like, oh God, I just want to go into school and be done with this and go to the next phase of life. And it was really, really crazy. But I chose physics because of the fun of it. Physics stressed me, but that was what I wanted. I wanted something that would bog my mind, something that would challenge me. Physics challenged me, not stress. The word is challenged. Challenged me, challenged my IQ in a very high rate. Like, I would learn theories, I would cram theories, I would prove, oh God, there were a lot I did in school then just to survive physics. I fell in love with it, and because I started seeing physics everywhere and in everything we do, the movement, the lights, every single thing. And then within my period of my stay in school, I would say one dramatic change for me, or one turnaround change for me, was already building up from an early age within the period I stayed at home while I was waiting and searching for my admission. Yeah, this to a lot of people out there asking, oh, what do I want to do? What do I become? Especially when they have not gotten within the space or the break or holiday you have before going to tertiary institution. Learning skill is very important. I can remember how my mom put me through somebody that was in my local church, and he was a photographer and also a teacher. He photographed students in his school. Mom was like, learn this. And my dad was, do you remember that camera you used to take your picture, your aunt's picture some years ago? I was like, yes. It was like, it's just up my shelf, and the moment you can learn how to use this, you can access the camera and use. And I first learned from someone my mom introduced me to, and it exposed me even more. It helped me. He was very generous to me, and he showed me a lot of stuff. He was very open. He actually treated me like his son. I can remember how he exposed me to, it was more like a gem then, where he printed pictures then for about 30, 15 naira and sold for more. But then I would print for about 15 naira picture and I would sell for like 100 naira. I was so happy then. I'll sell for about 150. That's what I would sell. And it was more of like a quick and take pictures. Then I took pictures of my cousins, took pictures of family. I was just snapping everywhere, anyhow, doing a lot of free stuff. I remember all of that. And bit by bit, I started transitioning. Editing was a very big deal for me, because as a photographer then, I did not know how to color correct rightly. I did not know what was color correction after taking pictures. I didn't know. I was just snapping and making everything just pop. I think I'll try to search for some of the pictures I took then, and then I'll show you. And they were just there. Bit by bit, I got exposed to my local church media team, and I showed somebody my photo. Till date, we are still like this. He's my big bro. He's literally my big bro. I showed him my pictures, and I showed him the best of my pictures within that season. And he looked at me, I was like, this is trash. I felt very heartbroken. I was like, this is not good. And I was very happy that he was very blunt with me that day, because I was very heartbroken. But the second thing that came to my mind was, okay, can you teach me? Because he told me this, like, I showed him the best pictures, and he told me this is work. And I was like, please teach me. And I had to sacrifice my Sunday sleep and Sunday jollof rice and white rice to learn. I remember how the service is over by 12 o'clock, and I will go and meet him in the studio in the church, and while he's editing, because he'll wait back for me and he's teaching me, and I will be there till about 3-4 o'clock. More. They were really crazy times, and I did that for over a year. And bit by bit, what used to be very challenging for me, editing, started becoming more easier. I was now getting more the interface, Photoshop, was getting more easier for me. I was like, yes, I can actually do this, and I started getting better. Before I left for school, I remember how I championed that place, in the sense of I became a photographer that they always call from. Then I was a teenager. They'll call from the teens church to come and take pictures in the main church, because of how much eye I had for detail, how much eye I had for storytelling. I remember how the recent pastor then, he sent for me, they called me, and he was like, I love what you do. Keep pushing in those efforts, keep doing more. And I pushed for it even more. And I've transitioned into becoming what I am now. I will go down to the story. Currently, I'm a photographer. I have championed so many projects. I have directed so many projects, and I have done quite a number of projects within the space of about 5 years, even after I was done with school. I've taken portraits for not less than 500 people, 500 clients within this space, or more. There should be about 1,000 plus and more. And the interesting part is that I just keep growing, and it's been very interesting. This episode is unscripted, so there's nothing particularly I'm saying that it's actually really scripted. I'm just speaking from my mind, and I know how much people out there are. You're out there, an inspiring photographer, you're an inspiring creator. You're asking yourself, oh, how can I get this right? How do I know that I got the best shots? I remember how I spent so much time on YouTube. That's one solution now. I learned from YouTube. I learned from seeing people do things. This can never escape from my story. There are two people that have been very fundamental in my growth. One is Imole Crafts. Yes, Daniel Imole. And second person is John Kem. These people taught me willingly without collecting a dime. They saw me as a younger brother. They saw the passion in me, and they allowed me to explode. They allowed me to grow. They showed me the stuff, and bit by bit, those stuffs that looked so big, quite difficult for me to see, to do, to film. I can remember how Mr. Imole would wake me up every morning and would have a class that lasts it was more like a university, from 8 o'clock to about 11 or 12. Yes, without eating. And he would just keep bombarding us with so much information. And he'll be like, yes, there's an internet at home. Go, browse. After he has taught us, because we're about three of us there in the house, and he'll be like, go study more, do more. I was also very stubborn too. Sometimes the internet, I used to be watching film instead of me to be learning. But he was very patient with me, and he helped me grow. He helped that aspect of me to become a more better storyteller in terms of making videos, editing. I remember how we shoot for countless of hours. I can remember standing up for 6 hours straight without sitting down, and I was just holding the cam. And we were making film, we were telling stories, and I was really passionate about it, and it was very interesting. I can remember how John Kem, because of John Kem, there was a particular year, I think that was 2023, 2024, shot at least 30 to about 40 weddings, and I was present there, and it was because of him. My eye got more exposed into storytelling, wedding portraits, and he did all that for me with an open heart. And that's to tell you how much that you can actually just look around you and you see people that are doing what you actually like. And to be sincere, you might actually get no's a lot of times, but you can also get yes. I remember how in university days I would speak to people because I want to collaborate with them. The fact that they are somewhat influential in university, and I'll be like, I'll take photographs of you for free, and want to do like I'll do that strategically because they have some kind of social status, and so that when they post, people around them will be able to know, oh, Martins took this photo. And to be sincere, I will get no's. It was really crazy, even as of that. But I kept pushing, I kept striving. I used my friends a lot. I practiced with them a lot. A lot of times when they're done, I'll be like, oh, come, let's go to the field. We'll go to the field, the basketball court, and play. They're playing, I'm taking them pictures. I kept doing that, kept perfecting, kept honing my skill until I'm where I'm at now. And currently, yes, I can put myself or position myself out there as a storyteller, a creative director, a portrait photographer, and it's really interesting and very beautiful. But I do know one thing. I'm currently transitioning into a phase where I'm more of a fashion photographer stroke entertainment photographer. So I take pictures a lot of fashion, and I'm doing a lot around entertainment industry, comedy, music, most especially. Just name it, anything around entertainment. Those are where you find me, around events. And big ups to a lot of people I learned from virtually. Big H, Beige, gives me so much joy whenever I see his pictures. Just name it, Prince Mason, even though he's no longer with us here in the country anymore, but he keeps inspiring. Oh my, Tonsin Jenar, I learned a lot from him, and these are like my goats. To be sincere, the whole lot of cinematographers also I learned from. One of the persons Sir Imole exposed me to that really exposed my mind was Christopher Nolan. Yes, Christopher Nolan. We would learn a lot from YouTube about filmmaking, and yeah, I'm right now, and I know that I've not completely gotten to where I want to be, but I'm actually on the step. And to all my clients, I want to say a big thank you to all of you, and just watch out for this guy.